Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars, welcome to another PlayStation review. Today's review is for Subdivision Infinity DX, an arcade-style space shoot-'em-up that has just been released very recently on the PlayStation. Now it is available on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, and the footage you are watching is captured using my PlayStation 5. Now what do we get with this game? Well, as I said, it's an arcade space shoot-'em-up. These are games I'm always interested in playing. I like space games, generally speaking, and for those of you that follow the channel will have seen that I put up fairly recently a video where I listed my favourite space sims. Now, this could never really be described as a space simulation game. It is definitely more of an arcade shoot-'em-up type game. I was really pleased to see that it was less than £10 to buy, which I thought was a really good price. It's a game I knew was coming out, but I didn't know the price point. And when I saw it in the store, I thought it was a really reasonable price for what I understood we were getting in the game. And what are you getting this game? Well, one thing you don't get is you don't get any voice acting. It's all text-based. Not that there's a lot of voice acting that this game would require, but as you can see here, there are some cutscenes where voice acting would have enhanced the experience, and maybe a little bit of voice chat in the cockpit would have helped. But it's all text-based, essentially. But the game is broken up. There is 5 levels on the game. Now, that might not sound a lot, but each of those levels has approximately 5 separate missions. So you've got 5, 10, 15, 20, about 25 missions to play, really. And that doesn't include most levels as well have like 2 exploration missions, as they call them. Now the exploration missions are essentially more laid back missions where you go out and explore and find resources and minerals to help you buy new ships, buy new equipment for your ship, evolve your ship, all this kind of stuff. And the missions themselves, hidden inside each level, kind of increase in difficulty. The first couple are pretty easy, generally speaking, and you can up the difficulty level on the game from easy, medium and hard type of thing. And then they kind of crank up the difficulty, and then you'll kind of finish each level with like a boss battle type thing. Now, depending on how you spend your resources within missions, at the end of each mission you'll get like money, coins, and other things that you can use to upgrade your ship, to buy new equipment for your ship, or like I say, evolve the ship. You do have that option as well. And you're going to need to do that because, as I say, the missions get increasingly difficult on each level. So you have to keep upgrading your ship or buying a new ship to make sure that you are well prepared for each level. Now, you can go back and replay missions on levels, but disappointingly, you actually don't get a huge amount of resources for replaying the missions. I actually thought I was stuck on one level. It was quite difficult. I died about 3-4 times. And I thought, well, I need to upgrade my ship, and I don't have any money left. So I started replaying some of the older missions. Well, I got some resources. I didn't get much in the way of coin and things like that. So you need to kind of spend your money carefully in the game and use your resources carefully to put the right weapons and equipment on the ship, and even evolve it. Now, evolving a ship usually gives it more cargo space, and it usually puts better armor on it and things like that, and it's visually it looks slightly differently as well. But there are 10 ships to unlock in the game, and you unlock them a number of ways, really. The majority of them you have to buy with coin, and some of them you can craft using resources you've collected in the game. And usually the crafted ones are slightly better than some of the other ones within the game. But they've all got strengths and weaknesses. Some of them are designed more for fighting, so they're a bit faster. They've got better weapons and things like that. And some of them are built more for like exploration and cargo storage. But for me, the majority of this game is essentially combat. Most levels are structured around that. You'll have to, generally speaking, in every level you'll have battles to take part in, so it makes sense, certainly for me playing this game, that your ship was kitted out more in regards to firing weaponry and things like that. There's mining as well in the game, so you can kind of mine resources, so there are other things to do within the game as well, but essentially it's more of an arcade shoot 'em up for the most part. Any gear that you collect as well, if you are short of money, you can sell it in like the shop within the game. But generally speaking, it seemed a bit of a silly thing to do, really, because you generally needed all your resources, especially if you were going to evolve your ship, or certainly craft a ship. It didn't make an awful lot of sense, generally speaking, to sell the things you wanted. But if there was a certain weapon that you felt you needed to get through a certain level, then you could obviously sell some of your resources and equip that weapon onto your ship. I thought the combat was actually really quite smooth, and the flying the ship was really smooth and responsive. Didn't have any issues with that at all. I actually think the game, regarding its price point, looks really good. The explosions are impressive. I did enjoy the combat, and it generally consists of, you know, firing like your primary weapon, and then you have like a secondary weapon as well. And secondary weapon are usually missiles, generally speaking. Primary weapon or like cannons or lasers sort of thing, and you can put more powerful ones in your ship. Unfortunately, there's no cockpit view. It's just the view that you see here. I would have liked to have had a cockpit view. I always prefer cockpit views. Generally speaking, in space sim games, I find them more immersive. But you don't get that here, which is why it feels more arcadey than a lot of other like space combat games. And the music as well, it's actually got quite a good soundtrack, this game, because there's no voice acting. The music kind of makes up for it. You've got this really heavy like dance music type thing playing, or synth heavy music playing throughout most of the levels. It's nice, generally speaking. It does add to the feel of the game, but I'd be honest, after 2 or 3 levels of the game, I actually turned the music down. Not all the way down, but it was getting on my nerves a little bit, and it got a little bit repetitive. So I think for those of you out there that are interested in like arcade type space combat games, there's quite a lot here to enjoy from this one. The price point, I think, is perfect, and you're going to get a good few hours of playtime out of this game. So I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. I hope you like this review. I hope you found it useful. Thanks for watching, and I will be back with plenty more reviews.